The gland?
The adrenal gland.
The adrenal gland, that's correct. Now, if we look at the kidney, so here's our adrenal gland. The outer part is the cortex. See this part right here?
So is that what the sticker is?
That's what that sticker means.
That's the
This
cortex.
is the cortex.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would cover all of this here.
Okay.
That's the cortex. That's the outer part. Okay. Okay, Alicia. Why don't you we just got started and we'll just go here. Okay, do you know what gland this is up here sitting on top of the kidney? She is out of breath. You're too young for that, honey.
The adrenal.
This is the adrenal gland here.
Okay.
This is the kidney. I'll just point out to them. The outer part is the cortex. Okay. This right here would be a pyramid. You see that right there? Which is in the medulla. This whole part here would be the medulla.
Alright.
But if I put a sticker here, I'm really looking for the pyramid.
So all we have to do is say that's called a pyramid?
Just say pyramid, and that's all you'd have to say. Okay. This pyramid is going to drain right into a minor calyx. So that would be a minor calyx. I'd probably do something like that so it'd be a little easier for you to see. But you can see how the pyramid comes in, and its urine was in here for the most part, in the collecting duct at least, goes in the minor calyx. Then it comes into the major calyx right here.
Okay.
And then it goes into the renal pelvis right here. Right like that.
What is that one?
The renal pelvis. And then you go into the ureter. Yeah. You can just follow it down. Pyramid, minor calyx, major calyx, renal pelvis, the ureter.
So there's only one major calyx and there's a lot of
No,
minor?
there are several major calyx.
Okay.
It's kind of like creeks coming into, say, a river, a bigger river, and then the biggest river.
Oh, okay.
Now, there'll be a bunch, there'll probably be 3 minors to 1 major. See, that would be a major there. This would be a major here. Because, see, here comes the pyramid. That would be a minor. That'd be a major. This would be the renal pelvis. See, I can follow it down?
Renal pelvis to the uterus.
Ureter,
Ureter.
not the uterus.
No, uterus.
Okay.
I call it uterus, but ureter.
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 Because what is the uterus?
But you have 2 ureters, right?
Yeah, 2 ureters.
Okay, I guess that's why it sounds like uterus.
The
Ureters.
uterus is where the bambinos hatch and grow. When they don't hatch there, they grow there. Here's the ureter. This would be your renal artery and a renal vein.
Okay. And right here, this is the renal cortex, and this is just the cortex.
Yes. Now on this one, this would be the cortex.
Yeah.
And all this would be the medulla. But this would be a pyramid, and that would be a minor calyx. And this would be a minor calyx, and this would be a major calyx. Be the renal pelvis and the ureter. Might be easier to do it on that one.
Okay, that's the one I had on mine printed out like.
Yeah.
But it won't have the if you don't like that, you won't have this one right here. The
Adrenal gland.
So this is a minor. That is the major.
Remember, minors go to major.
Okay, minor go to major.
Small to a little larger to larger to larger. That's what it goes. Okay,
So
here
these are all majors right here.
well, I wouldn't call that a major. Would you call that a major?
Well, yeah, because if this is a minor.
Oh,
Going into a major?
No. Okay, no, okay. Let's looky here. This comes down into a minor, doesn't it?
that's an adult.
What do you
Oh,
think?
okay.
This
It's
is
the same
coming
thing.
into.
It's just-
That's a minor.
So then this would be the major.
Yeah,
minor.
minor, and then the
The
major.
major's
follows.
going to be this right in here. See,
Yeah.
like that?
Okay.
A major would, if you really had to do it, it'd probably be all this area right in here. And this would be the renal pelvis, and this would be the ureter.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, this is the cortex, of course, and this is the medulla. This would be a pyramid. Now, you'll notice all of the glomeruli are out in the cortex. All of them are out here in the cortex, okay? And you will notice that in the cortex you have Here's the glomerulus, as that's what that arrow is pointing to. What's happened here, they've taken the top off of the glomerular capsule. What they've done, we've just taken the top off so you can see the glomerulus. And coming from it's going to be the proximal convoluted tubule, nearest one to the glomerulus. And then it's going to go down the descending nephron loop here, descending nephron loop, ascending, it comes back up, and this is the distal convoluted tubule. And remember, the distal convoluted tubule always dumps into the collecting duct. That's the way to remember that. The distal convoluted tubule always dumps into the collecting duct. And you can see here 1 nephron, 2 nephrons, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different nephrons dumping into that collecting duct.
So this is all a collecting duct right here.
This structure right here is the collecting duct. And remember, it collects a bunch of nephrons. Think of the name. It collects nephrons, collecting duct. It's not part of the nephron. And you can see all the different numbers of nephrons that would come to it. And remember, the distal convoluted tubule is what dumps into the collecting duct. So if you weren't sure what this is, just go over and that's the collecting duct. Oh, it's got to be the distal convoluted tubule. Okay. Okay. These would be the vasa recti here. See that right there? That's the vasa recti. I wanted to show you. See, here comes the collecting duct, and there's that renal pyramid aperture. See, the minor calyx would be right there. And you remember there's a whole bunch of these collecting ducts in this renal pyramid that comes down here to the very apex and goes into the minor calyces. This is going to be a close-up of the glomerulus. Here comes your afferent arteriole. This, they try and make an example of, remember those special smooth muscle cells called granular cells? That's what they're trying to display. This would be your ascending loop, nephron loop coming in. This would be your macula densa. Okay, let's get the ascending loop here. This is going to be descending, ascending. This is going to be your ascending loop here. If you cut it off like that, you'd be looking at it like this. And remember that juxtaglomerular apparatus, the macula densa cells. It's sensitive to sodium chloride. This would be your efferent arteriole right here. That would be either your peritubular or your vasa recti. You can't tell which, of course. This would be your glomerular capsular membrane. This would be the glomerular capsular space. This would be your glomerulus. This shows you the podocytes. What they've done here is taking these off of that so you can see the actual capillaries itself. This is the proximal convoluted tubule. And that pretty well covers that, doesn't
So
it?
then what would you expect for these answers?
Well, either peritubular capillaries or vasa recti. There's no way you could tell which was what.
Okay. And is this pointing at the cell?
It's the
Or
whole
is this the
area,
whole-
which would be the proximal convoluted tubule.
Okay.
Okay, let's look right here, and you can see that nicely. Okay, well this shows it nicely here. See the glomerulus, and you can see the proximal convoluted tubule coming right off the glomerulus, just like that. The proximal convoluted tubule is where the majority of reabsorption occurs. And
So
some
is
secretion,
that
but
one
the
is the same
majority of
thing as
reabsorption
this one?
occurs in that proximal convoluted tubule. And always look to see where things are. For example, find the collecting duct. You know that's the distal convoluted tubule because the collecting duct collects all those distal convoluted tubules. And you know this is going to be the proximal convoluted tubule because it's right there next to the glomerulus. See right here? That's the glomerulus. There's the proximal convoluted tubule. Just like you see here. That makes it real easy to see. Okay. that good? Okay. Let